Hey everybody, Grayson the Goosebumps Kid here. Welcome back to our Q&A. So today I will finally be doing the Q&A video that you guys wanted probably for over a week now. I gave you guys about a week or so to put questions in the comment section. I actually got quite a few questions, so I want to thank you guys for that, and I also want to thank you for 50 subscribers. This was a huge milestone for me, probably not as huge as some other people, but yeah, just very glad that I was able to hit 50 subscribers. We're already at 53 now, which is actually pretty surprising. So let's try to hit 100 subscribers next, shall we? So was able to write all your guys' questions down. This is probably going to be a longer video than some other questions. Or not other questions, than some other videos. But hopefully you guys will stick by and watch the video and hear the questions. So yeah, let's get started. As you can see, I have it written down on paper here for the questions. Actually, I had to get 2 sheets of paper, so. All right. First question is from Nicole Averill. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And she said, which ventriloquist dummy do you like other than Slappy? Let's see. There is a lot of ventriloquist dummies from the 3rd book, and there's one from the 1st and 2nd book. So, out of all those, I'd probably have to go with either Dennis or Mr. Wood. Dennis was actually a pretty cool guy. He was actually the Slappy's right-hand man in the episode, but he actually becomes the good guy at the end. And Mr. Wood is actually the main villain of Night of the Living Dummy 1 instead of Slappy. Slappy has nothing to do with the book until right at the end when he comes to life. So, yeah, I'd have to go with either Mr. Wood or Dennis. Probably Dennis. I like Dennis a little bit more. Yeah, so that's my favorite other than Slappy. Next one comes from DJ Thunder X, one of my good friends on Xbox and in real life. He said, how did you get so good at Call of Duty Zombies? Could you give me some tips? Me and him, if you don't know, we play Call of Duty Zombies a lot. He goes down a lot, and, you know, he gets really mad and upset when he goes down. So I totally understand why he's asking this. DJ, I'd honestly just say practice a lot. If you practice, you're going to get really good. Just, you know, practice all the maps, your favorites, and definitely save up for perks and doors. Perks are your main thing, but yeah, just practice and you'll eventually do it. Trust me, I've practiced a lot of times to get where I'm at, so trust me, you can do it. I believe in you. All right, next question, next few questions actually come from Michael Goosebumps fan, one of my favorite Goosebumps YouTubers. Thank you for giving me all these questions, Michael. His first question is, what is your favorite Goosebumps cover of all time? That's a tough one. If I had to pick, I'd honestly have to go with Night of the Living Dummy 3. Really, really enjoyed that book. It was so good. Really loved the cover by Tim Jacobus. It was so awesome. And second question from him is my favorite color. What is my favorite color? Blue, all the way. Blue is my all-time favorite, as you can see from my shirt. Blue is so bright, so natural. It's the color of my room. Literally, my whole room is blue, if you guys can't tell from the videos. Well, this is obviously different, but I'm actually at my grandmother's house right now filming this, so yeah. Blue is my favorite color. Favorite movie? That's his third question. Gosh, I've watched so many movies, I completely forgot. If I had to go with a favorite movie, I don't know what kind of genre, but if I had to go with a favorite movie of all time, Friday the 13th Part 6. It was such a good movie. Very, very good. Really love the comedy. Besides Part 4, that is my favorite Friday the 13th movie, but that is honestly my favorite movie of all time, so thank you for that. Number 4, his fourth question, favorite book, non-Goosebumps. That is a tough one. I'd honestly have to go with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. That is my favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. So far, I haven't read any Diary of a Wimpy Kid books other than that and the first one. But yeah, Roderick Rules is my favorite book that is non-Goosebumps. Number 5, do you think the Goosebumps reboot show is ever going to happen? I don't know, because there's been speculation for a long time about if the reboot show is ever going to happen, and if it will ever happen. Michael, I believe you said you highly doubt that it's going to happen now, seeing of how long it takes. But I'm not giving up hope. I really hope it comes out soon. You always got to think positive. At least that's what I believe. I know God wants us to think positive and all that. So, yeah. And his next question, number 6, probably my least question that he's asked so far. You planning on reading Chicken yet, lol? I've read Chicken. I'm not going to review it for a long time. Until I get there, I'm really going to hate reviewing it. But yes, I will review it soon. And I've read it. Horrible. Alright, number 7. Favorite song. I haven't listened to a lot of songs now that I think about it. But I have to go with one. It's probably Redbone, Come and Get Your Love. That was a very, very good song. Really don't want to play it because I don't want to get copyrighted. But that is my favorite song, Redbone, Come and Get Your Love. Number 8. What shows are you watching right now, if anything? I was watching Stranger Things, but that was about a year back. I finished watching all 3 seasons. This year, I've been watching WandaVision. I finished that probably February or March, somewhere in there. Now, I'm starting to watch Supernatural, if you guys don't know what that is. Very, very good show. Recommend it. And my friend is trying to get me into an anime. I'm not really into animes, but he told me it was pretty good. But right now, I'm watching Supernatural. Very good show. You can find it on Netflix. But yeah, that's the show I'm watching right now. Favorite era of music? That is a tough one. I'd probably have to go with the 80s. 80s was so cool. It had rock. It had country singing. That was such a good era of music. I wasn't born in the 80s, obviously. I was born in the mid-2000s. But 80s music still sounded really good. And his final question. Favorite Goosebumps era, classics, Give Yourself Goosebumps, Series 2000, etc. I'd have to go with the classic era, the original 62 book run. That was such a good time. All the books I've read so far, I've read 53 out of the 62, and all of them have been pretty good except for maybe a few, but that's probably my favorite era of Goosebumps. Thank you for your questions, Michael. Really appreciated answering them. Next question comes from I'm That Goosebumps Fan, and he asks, what is the weakest Goosebumps book ever? Can't really say right now, but until I read most of what I want. But so far, the weakest is definitely Chicken. Do not like that book at all. Did not like it. Thank you for your question. Let's see. Next 2 questions come from one of my good friends, Monster Blood. And his first question is, what was the first Goosebumps book you read? I remember the 3 I read. I believe I only owned 3 at the time, and that was Night of the Living Dummy 2, Deep Trouble, and How I Got My Shrunken Head. Out of those 3, I believe I read Night of the Living Dummy 2 first. I believe that was the first one I read. Then it was Deep Trouble, and then How I Got My Shrunken Head. But Night of the Living Dummy 2 was the first Goosebumps book I ever read, and really enjoyed it. And his second question, if you had to pick one Goosebumps character to be your sibling, who would it be and why? That's such a good question. I know it's not going to be Tara. Hated that kid. Did not like her. I'd probably have to say Max from Let's Get Invisible. He seemed like a pretty cool dude. So, yeah, it's Max. Thank you for your questions, Monster Blood. Next few questions come from Villarreal. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Try going to your channel, dude, but I couldn't do that in YouTube Studios, and for some reason your question wouldn't appear on the regular YouTube app, so I had to go into YouTube Studios, so sorry about that. His 4 questions are, what is your opinion on the Mummy's role in the second Goosebumps movie? He didn't really have a good role in that movie, honestly. I didn't like him in either movie. I mean, he's a good character, don't get me wrong, he's a good character, but he hardly ever showed up in the second one, I don't believe. Anyway, but, you know, he wasn't really the main villain of that story. It was mainly Slappy. So, I'd have to say, didn't really like his role that much. Alright, second question. How did you become a big fan of Goosebumps? I watched a video of Bjorn, who is Goosebumps #1 Aussie fan. I watched a video of his, and it actually got me interested. Then I watched Zach Baby TV. He was actually pretty cool. Got me into Goosebumps. So those are the 2 guys that got me into Goosebumps. Number 3, is Haunted Halloween good or bad? I don't want to say I don't like it, but it was okay. It's not as good as the first one by all means. The first one was way better than the second one, but it was okay. It wasn't good or bad. It was okay. It's probably right in the middle for me. And his last question is, are you going to do a Goosebumps collection video? I'm actually planning on doing a collection video once I hit 100 subscribers, so thank you for the question. So yeah, once I hit 100 subscribers, I will do a Goosebumps collection video. So, Maiku, thank you for your questions. Alright, next 4 questions come from Dank Pickle Pop, a good friend of mine. His first question is, if you were to design your own Goosebumps video game, what would it be like? That's a tough one. Personally, I'd have it as you play as the characters from the movie. If you don't know them, you play as one of the characters from the movie. And it would be online multiplayer, so you could play with 3 other people. So R.L. Stein would be one of them, and then the 3 other kids. Those would be the main characters for me. And it would be sort of like Little Hope, Dark Picture Anthology's Little Hope. If you don't know what that is, look it up on YouTube. It's pretty good. I would base it sort of like that, and the villains would be the characters, and they try to suck you up in books and stuff. So, yeah, that would how I would design it. Number 2, are you a fan of similar shows and books to Goosebumps, like The Simpsons Treehouse, of horror specials, and Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids? I know The Simpsons. I don't know Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids, but yes, I am a fan of that, of one of those shows. So, yeah. Number 3, do you ever plan to collab with other Goosebumps YouTubers? Actually, I do. I just got in contact with one of a big Goosebumps YouTuber out there. Not going to say his name because I don't want to spoil it, but me and him actually decided to collab. We're actually going to start planning things out after he gets back from his trip. So yeah, looking forward to that collab, guys. It'll be on his channel, not mine. Since I'm filming on an iPhone and he's filming on a camera, we're actually going to collab there. So stay tuned for that. Number 4, would you like me to give you my German Blu-ray of the Goosebumps show? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go right for it. I will send you my address in a private Discord conversation. Yeah, I'd like to see that. All right. Horror Channel Reviews is up next. A good friend of mine. All right. His 3 questions are, do you watch any drama series or TV shows? I believe I answered this before, but drama series, no. I don't watch any drama series, but I do watch Supernatural, which is a TV show. I watch that. But no, I don't watch any drama series. Second question, what are your favorite scary movies? Definitely Friday the 13th. That's my all-time. Then Halloween. Then Freddy, and Child's Play. Those are my 4. And, Paranormal Activity is a good one, too. Oh, voice crack there. Sorry, guys. Paranormal Activity is good, too. And his final question, how were you first introduced to Goosebumps? Alright, so I believe I answered this before, but as I said, I was introduced by watching a couple videos, and somebody actually recommended those videos to me. And yeah, so yeah, that's how I was introduced. I watched Bjorn and Zach Baby TV. Those are the guys. Alright, final questions come from Goosebumps Completionist, a really good friend of mine. Definitely check his channel out. Alright, his first question. What was the moment you became a Goosebumps fan? As I said before, somebody recommended Goosebumps to me, and I actually had some in my house before and never checked them out. Didn't really seem too good of a series, which I regret. I regret not checking them out sooner. And I was actually watching Michael Goosebumps Fan, Bjorn, Zach Baby TV, all those guys. Really enjoyed them. Then when I first read Night of the Living Dummy 2, it was so good, and I got hooked on Goosebumps. Alright, number 2. Did you start by reading books or watching the old show or movies? Believe I forgot to answer this in the first one, but before I read Night of the Living Dummy 2, I actually saw one episode of the old show, and it was okay. I believe that was The Girl Who Cried Monster. Pretty sure it was. Yeah. It was A Girl Who Cried Monster. I actually watched the old movies, then I read Night of the Living Dummy 2. Number 3, are you interested in other horror series similar to Goosebumps? If so, what series? As I said before, really into Friday the 13th. Paranormal Activity, I've actually been watching those. I'm now currently watching Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, the fifth in the series. Recommend Paranormal Activity in that movie. Nightmare on Elm Street, very good series. Child's Play, very good series. Halloween, very good series. And The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, really love those series. As well as Saw. Alright, and the final question from him is, what's the worst Goosebumps book you've ever read and why? It's probably going to change, but for now, it's Chicken Chicken. I really hated that book. It was basically just a manners book. Really hated the book. It was okay up until the ending, and it ruined the whole book. Hated that book. God, it was awful. I don't know why. It was just so bad. Just the plot and everything. So, yeah, that's all the questions. I want to thank you guys for the support and the questions. Really appreciate it. I will leave a link to the Discord. Please go join our Discord. I'll leave a link to that, as I said before. And I will also leave timestamps for all the questions. So if you guys want to check, just want to skip ahead to the question you want to get answered, I'll leave a timestamp there. And, yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day. God bless. Bye-bye, everybody.